What about friendships? What is something that you would not forgive a friend for doing? Somebody, so one of your friends did something you...
I don't know. I don't have no friends. There's my sister. I have a sister.
I was like...
I don't
Okay.
have friends. I have a sister.
Oh, so that's why. It makes sense then. It's fine. Forgiveness is a very natural thing, and especially in relationships, sometimes sex is the best way to forgive.
I just don't agree with that. I think that I have some deal breakers when it comes to forgiveness.
All right, well, so let me ask you this.
Let me ask you this.
So let me ask you this. How do you feel about forgiveness? What are some like deal breakers that will stop you from forgiving someone?
It depends how bad of a situation we're in. There's some things that you can forgive. You might not be able to forget it, but you can forgive and go past by it.
Okay.
But it all does depend. I think when it comes to a relationship, it's no forgiveness.
No forgiveness. So
No.
if someone cheats, that's it. The end of the
That's
relationship? Like even if it was a one-time thing?
Even if it was a one-time thing.
All right, so we got Cardi B forgiving my boy Offset. We got Lala forgiving Carmelo. We got Beyonce, y'all Queen B. The queen, the one that y'all look up to that sing all her songs, forgive Jay-Z. Forgiveness is important in a relationship. You have to be able to forgive about letting some things go. Do you have some things that you are just will not forgive in a relationship?
Okay, so my thing is this. All of those three women are married. So I feel like forgiveness varies per relationship.
That's real. I agree with
when
that.
I'm in a relationship, there's certain things that I will not tolerate and I can get out versus when I'm married, there's gonna be certain things that I have to really work through because I made this commitment in
Real.
front of God.
Agreed.
So in regards to my deal breakers for forgiveness, when it comes to a relationship, if it's just my boyfriend and he cheats, I personally am not gonna be able to come back from that.
That's real.
Because I'm gonna be insecure.
What if y'all been together for like 10 years?
It's gonna make me insecure. I'm always gonna be
That's
thinking.
real.
I'm always gonna be thinking about what you doing, who you with, why you didn't answer my phone calls.
Real.
That trust is now broken. Like I get it. Men cheat for different reasons. It could just be for pussy.
Why does this have to wait? Why does this have to only be about men cheating?
I was just about to segue into women. Dang, you be ready to attack.
I just got to defend my brothers. Fuck a black man corner.
Okay, moral of the story, I feel like men cheat for different reasons. I feel like women cheat for more emotional reasons. So I get it. Some men would just cheat off of the strength of like, oh, it was just new pussy. I get that, but still, my trust is now broken because you could do that with 1,000 bitches, and I'll be just sitting back at home, just Sally Sue, just sitting at the house. No.
It's real. So let me ask you this. What do you think about forgiveness in general? Like, what do you think about forgiveness?
I feel like forgiveness has been overblown in our society to mean something that it really isn't. People think, when they think about forgiveness, they think, for example, forgive and forget, right? Like, don't talk about it anymore. I forgave you for it, so you shouldn't have to bring it up anymore. But in actuality, forgiveness is acknowledging something that you're growing from, and then remembering that for however long you need to, or in whatever situation you go into in the future.
They said that, you know, you can get your woman back, but you'll never get the same woman back. And that's real as hell. Like, you'll never, once it happens, you'll never get that same person back. Even me, I've been cheated on before by a girl. You know, I'm a little different because of how I, like, think about relationships in general and stuff like that. But, like, when you get cheated on, you do start looking at them differently. You start to question their intentions a little bit.
Right.
Like, you do, it just automatically does flare up an insecurity. But we're talking about this idea of forgiveness.
But wait, forgiveness is not just cheating too. There's
No, it's
other
not.
things that other people can do that require forgiveness.
I agree.
Lying,
For sure.
financial issues.
For sure.
You know, like there's a lot of things.
Money and stuff like
Exactly.
that. You know, so I definitely agree with that. I think when we look at forgiveness, it's not just about relationships. We as people, I believe in this idea of forgive, never forget. Like, you know, I can forgive you. It's nothing to cast you my forgiveness and say, hey, you did me wrong. But I'm going to like let it go and not hold this grudge and hate you forever. But I will always remember what you did. I'm never going to just forget about those actions, act like it never happened, and we'll just, you know, go about our merry way. You know, and I think with relationships, I agree with you on that stance that, you know, when you're married, there's certain things that you just, I'm not saying that you gotta let slide, but are you really gonna throw like a 15-year marriage down the drain because someone decided to slip up? I'm not saying that's up to you. That's always a personal choice. You know, you personally get to decide on what you do with that. But I mean, at the same time, it's just like so much time. But
Do you feel like cheating is a deal breaker on forgiving somebody?
To me, it's not. I don't think that, I think every relationship has something. And if you think back to our parents and grandparents, not saying it's okay, but they were cheating back then. And it's just something that you have to learn how to get over, figure out the reason for cheating, figure out what can be done so that the cheating doesn't happen again. If it's continuously happening and it just becomes disrespectful, then I think there's some leverage to separate at that point. But I think that you have to be able to forgive to move on.
what about friendships? Like, how you forgive with friends?
You know, it depends. You know, like let's say for instance, like I have a girlfriend and my girlfriend does something with my man. Those type of things I can't forgive.
You guys got like a Brandy Monica situation?
Yes, you need to give it. Okay, no. Actually, no, that's not even a Brandy Monica situation. That's like two men talking to the same guy. This is my friend who knows that I date this guy and you're doing this behind my back.
Gotcha.
That's conniving. That's just like, hell no, I can never forgive you for that.
Gotcha.
But I don't like the idea how it's easier for us to forgive significant others faster than our friends.
What about friendships? What's something like your homie can do that is a deal breaker? Like, you're not talking to him ever again. Y'all never gonna be cool. You gonna remember it, but you'll never be like kind of like cool with him ever again.
So for me, again, there's nothing that if that's your homie, you know your homies.
You know the
So
capability.
like, even if they do some foul stuff, you know that they're gonna do that foul stuff. That don't make them not your homie, because that just because they did something foul, they was doing. Most likely, they was doing stuff foul to other people. It was
And
just
you
never
watch
to you.
Yeah.
So if
I
it
agree.
happened to you, you can't be mad at that.
That's
You
the
just know that that's what they gonna do from the future on, and you deal with it as you're supposed to. If you don't talk to them as much because of that, that's a consequence of how you act towards them. But you just treat them how you know they're gonna be.
Oh, that's where. I mean, because I think.
Because think about that.
Your friendships are. I mean, to me,
That's like
friendships
family.
yeah, like all my close friends, the people. If I consider you a friend, you're like a brother to me.
Right.
You know, like so. But then at the same time, like I don't expect you to do me wrong.
Right,
you know,
right.
I don't care. My friends already know. My things I don't care about are exes. Like if you talk to one of my exes, go ahead. I don't care. That's you.
That's a guy thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna trip about it.
Cause sis code.
But like if my homie was like in my girl's DMs, I'd be like, nigga, can I help you? Like, what are you doing there? Like, what's up, bro? So I think there is like different things with friendship. But I think a big deal breaker when it comes to friendships and forgiveness is money. My brother told me this, like, never ever loan someone some money that you gonna have to worry about getting back.
Period.
You know, so if I give you $50 and if I give you $50 and you just squander it off and you don't care about the $50, it's $50. I'm gonna charge you the game.
Right.
I'm not gonna end our friendship over $50. Now, if I give you $1,000 because you are looking for like help, you need it, and you decide not to give me that money back, I'm gonna be mad at myself. One, that I trusted you as a friend, thinking you was gonna pay me back, but our friendship is for show on a whole nother level. Like, I'm not gonna be able to be the same friend to you because I know you owe me, and I know that our relationship is not gonna be the same until you make it right.
Gotcha.
Type of thing. So I think
Okay,
that's where deal
well,
breaker.
last thing. What about forgiveness with family? Like, is that a whole different area in itself too? Like, because I feel like all these different relationships require different levels of forgiveness or different types of forgiveness. Like, if my sister does something wrong to me, like, it's my sister, like, oh, I get over it. Like, that's how I forgive her. Because it's my sister, like, this is blood. But family can do some fucked up shit too.
That's real. Family definitely can, I kind of looked at I asked, my Instagram different topics on how they feel about forgiveness. So some of the responses about like forgiveness in general we got, we have, don't mind me if I say your name if if it pops up, I apologize. Like, for example, we have Miss Allie says, repeating toxic patterns. So this idea of repeating toxic patterns is something that they do not allow forgiveness for. They will not allow someone back in their relationship or back in their friendship. If I forgive you once and then you turn around and do it again, that's kind of a no-go.
Okay.
We also have a lot of people said doing the same shit twice. Someone said we have To Be Your Bane says people saying but after they say sorry or I apologize. So that's kind of like a deal breaker for forgiveness. Like, I can't forgive you after you say but now. You get it? Like, I kind of agree with that. Like, you say, oh.
It's like a half apology.
It's literally like you like half stepping apology.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, but you was in the wrong too. Like, no. You're apologizing. So I definitely agree. And I think the last one we're going to grab, Queen Olivia Juki says,
hey girl,
betrayal and cheating. That's a deal breaker they're not coming back from. So if they're in a relationship and somebody betrays them or they cheat, it's X out, no forgiveness for them. And I mean, these are kind of important ways to look at forgiveness in general.
Okay, so this idea of forgiveness really has me like so torn, because on one hand, I agree with you, man. I really feel like if I'm with somebody for 10 years, am I really gonna just throw away a relationship off of this one situation? But then on the other hand, it's just like, dang, you really cheated on me. Like, you really, as a woman, it will make you feel like not enough. It'll be like, dang, so
it's gonna bring up insecurities,
it's
bring up trust issues.
Even with friends, it's like, dang, sis, I loaned you $1,000 and you didn't think to give me back my money. Like, you thought that was okay. Or even with family, like, dang, you did this in this situation. So I feel like forgiveness, of course, is situational, but it's still something that I think a lot of people struggle with. I think in our society, in our generation especially, we have this idea of just when somebody does something wrong, it's snip, you out, peace out. It's like no idea of fight. It's no idea of like, can we figure this out? Can we communicate and work this out? Which is why we want to highlight the idea of forgiveness, because yeah, it's something that's also in the Bible, but it's also something we should practice more.
I mean, I think we're the cutoff generation. Like, I have a cutoff spirit where I'll be like, you know what, I'm cutting it off on certain things, but we move on, and we're in the microwave society, so everything happens so quickly. So you want to, it's like on to the next, on to the next, and you just have this cycle of moving on. So
last question.
Yeah.
I feel like with that type of narrative, it feels like we're losing our ability to fight. Like, we can just cut people off, but there's no sense of fight for that person. What do you think about that?
that's the truth. And I think that every relationship has to stand some type of test of time, even friendships.
I agree. I mean, I think obviously there are things that you're not going to come back from. I mean, and that's fine. I think forgiveness is a really subjective thing, but I think in order to process forgiveness, there's like a couple steps that you need to go through.
Okay,
I think the first step is obviously to address the problem. You know, if this is something, a situation that is important to you, and this is a person that is important to you, you need to address what they did that was wrong. Because sometimes you like will hold a grudge against somebody and they don't even know you mad at them.
Right.
You be like, oh, you know,
Great
like
point.
maybe they just didn't realize they owed you money. Maybe your family member didn't realize they did you wrong. Because sometimes,
point.
I mean, of course, you know, some people just aren't that aware of what they're doing.
Right.
And so I think the first thing is to address it. The second thing is to communicate the idea of how we can get past this. Is this something we can grow from? Is it something we can learn from? You know, because nobody wants to be in a relationship with someone that they did cheat on and that person brings it up all the time.
Right.
So that leads us to the third thing is, you know, forgive but not forget. You know, I think every situation that you go through with a person, whether it be a friend, family member, loved one, you know, is a learning situation. You know, you learned a piece of their character. You might have realized something about them that you didn't know before, and now you have this idea of how to process it. So it's up to you to decide whether or not you want to stay, but also you need to realize, hey, I'm not going to forget what you did. I'm going to forgive you, like, and we'll move past it, we'll grow from it, we'll learn from it, so I don't hold this ill resentment to you, but we learn to kind of progress.
I like that. So with that being said, we want you guys to follow our social media channels, our Instagram page at Let Me Ask You, the letter U, this, our Twitter handle, Let Me Ask You, the letter U, this, _, and also subscribe to our YouTube channels. Tell a friend, hit us up in the comments with any topics that you feel like we need to bring to life. Talk to us, let us know how you're feeling about the show, guys. We're doing this for you, you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you.
Right.
You get a TV show, you get a TV show.
Who you promising TV shows to? We only have one show. Thank you so much. All right, thank you guys.